Attention, Steelers fans! A bright future is on the horizon for the Pittsburgh team with the addition of a potential star player at the quarterback position, Justin Fields. The news has generated great excitement among fans and NFL experts, who believe that Fields could be a key piece in the Steelers' future success. Jacob Punturi, a respected football analyst, recently shared his thoughts on the young quarterback. Punturi highlighted that Justin Fields has all the necessary qualities to become a standout player in the NFL, especially under the tutelage of the experienced Russell Wilson with the Steelers. This combination of youth and experience promises to be a decisive factor in Fields' development. Another renowned analyst, Steve Buerlein, also expressed his admiration for Justin Fields in a recent appearance on the show, The Bullpen with Adam the Bull. Buerlein, a former NFL quarterback with vast experience, thoroughly analyzed Fields' situation with his previous team, the Chicago Bears. According to Buerlein, Fields faced a series of challenges and obstacles during his time in Chicago, which limited his ability to showcase his full potential. Buerlein explained that one of the main problems Fields faced with the Bears was the instability within the team. The constant rotation of head coaches and the lack of talent in the offensive environment were crucial factors that hindered his development. "I think there were a lot of things working against Fields in Chicago," commented Buerlein. "Mainly, the instability and the lack of talent around him. He wasn't given the opportunity to grow in a system with enough offensive weapons and with different offensive philosophies that adapted to him." This observation is essential to understand why the Steelers have such an optimistic perspective on Justin Fields. Despite the challenges, Fields showed flashes of his skill and potential, leading the Steelers to believe they can turn him into an impactful player in Pittsburgh. According to Buerlein, Fields possesses special qualities that can make him a top-tier quarterback, as long as he is provided with an offensive system that knows how to utilize his skills. "I saw enough of him in the last few years to believe that he has the ability to be a standout quarterback, maybe not elite, but certainly top tier in the NFL," stated Buerlein. The arrival of Justin Fields to the Steelers has not only generated expectations among analysts, but also among fans. Many see Fields as the natural successor to Russell Wilson and believe that his competition and learning under Wilson's direction will be key to his development. The hope is that Fields can learn and adapt to the Steelers' offensive system, eventually allowing him to take on the role of starting quarterback in the near future. Additionally, Buerlein did not hesitate to criticize the Bears' decision to trade Fields and use their first-draft pick on Caleb Williams. According to him, the Bears made a significant mistake by not betting on Fields for another year. "I thought the Bears made a big mistake by not trading that first pick," Buerlein noted. "I think if they had kept Fields for another year and traded that first pick, they could have solidified their team in many areas and been prepared for a good run this year or next." In summary, if Steve Buerlein's analysis is correct, the Steelers might have made a masterstroke by acquiring Justin Fields. Although he is expected to play as a backup this year, Fields' future in Pittsburgh looks promising. With patience and the right system, Fields could become the Steelers' starting quarterback in 2025, bringing an exciting playing style and great potential to the team. Steelers fans have plenty of reasons to be excited and optimistic about the future of their team with Justin Fields in their ranks.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers in tonight's video, and I just want to say I find it really funny when people are critiquing Pittsburgh and they're saying, no, it doesn't matter who you deploy, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, it doesn't matter. You still don't have a quarterback, so you're not making the playoffs. You're not going to make any noise during the regular season. You got the third most difficult schedule. Yeah, you guys are regressing. You know, this is going to be finally a sub 500 season for Mike Tomlin. And I read these and I just sit here and I laugh to myself and I think, you know, we just watched Kenny Pickett last season. We just watched Mitch Trubisky. We just watched Mason Rudolph. And as chaotic and dysfunctional as the Pittsburgh Steelers offense that finished the fourth worst total offense in the NFL, it was the fifth worst passing offense in the NFL. They got like a severe upgrade at the quarterback position, and I just find it funny that people critique Pittsburgh saying they don't have a quarterback, and I'm like, folks, whoever it is, Russell Wilson can be thrown left-handed, Justin Fields can be thrown left-handed. It's still an upgrade. No disrespect to Kenny Pickett, but it's still an upgrade to last year's Matt Canada, Kenny Pickett duo. So your new quarterback is Russell Wilson, and your new offensive coordinator is Arthur Smith. But what a lot of people forget, even though they want to say Russell Wilson is washed, Russell Wilson is this, Russell Wilson is that the Steelers still have a phenomenal running back room, and they actually still have one of the best defenses that only got better in the entire National Football League. So I want to do something interesting here that I saw on Twitter. But before we do, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We're in the midst of the offseason here. Like less than 2 weeks from now, we're finally going to have Pittsburgh Steelers updates and all that fun stuff. So thank you guys for being patient on this channel all summer. You can only talk about Brandon Ayuk so many different times, which, by the way, I made a Brandon Ayuk Commanders video yesterday. If there's something on the table, I still think Pittsburgh should look into it, but neither here nor there. Let's get into it for today's video. So I saw an interesting tweet earlier today, and it was basically just like this visual, and it was 1,200 plus rushing yard guys back in 2003. And then last year, 2023, there was only one rusher in the NFL who rushed for over 1,200 yards. That was Christian McCaffrey. Now, there were a bunch of dudes close-ish. You had like Najee Harris, for example, was a 1,000-yard rusher. Derrick Henry, I think, was number 2. I think he just barely had a little under 1,200 rushing yards. And then you had the dude over in Los Angeles as number 3, but Kyron Williams. The point is, this graphic really put things in perspective. So in 2003, there were, off the top of my head, looks like there were 14 rushers over 1,200 yards. Jamal, not that it even matters, but I just, like, from a football fan's perspective, this is cool because a lot of these names I haven't seen in ages. Jamal Lewis, Amon Green, LaDainian Tomlinson, Deuce McAllister, what a name. Clinton Portis, what a name. Stephen Davis, Sean Alexander, oh my God, what a name. Priest Holmes, I have his jersey. Ricky Williams, I have his jersey. Travis Henry, oh my God. Curtis Martin, Fred Taylor, I have his jersey. Edgar and James and Tiki Barber. And then this past season, 20 years later, there was only one rusher over 1,200 yards. And so basically, like, my point is, the Steelers were the 13th leading rushers last season with Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. Arthur Smith's bread and butter is running the football. And I've talked way too much on this channel. Like, we've gone back and looked at the Tennessee Titans and Arthur Smith last year as the offensive coordinator. The Falcons were a phenomenal rushing team. Like, the only thing the Falcons got right in Arthur Smith's head coaching tenure was the rush game, whether it was even Cordell Patterson that we'll talk about in just a minute here, Bijan Robinson, the rookie this year, Tyler Algier has had a really sneaky 2 years into the league. Arthur Smith knows how to run the football. He knows how to scheme to run the football. So when people are critiquing the Pittsburgh Steelers offense in general, they're noticing the lack of a wide receiver too. But as long as Roman Wilson plays up to the expectations that we have of him, and it could be anywhere between 40 and 50 receptions for anything close to 600 to 800 receiving yards. You got George Pickens, who's going to have probably over 1,200 receiving yards. And then you got Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, Scotty Miller, Quez Watkins. But you still have Pat Freiermuth. You got Darnell Washington. You got Jaylen Warren. You got Najee Harris. You got a bunch of dudes who can catch the football. And it's funny because Russell Wilson last season, statistically, as far as touchdown to interception ratio, is one of the best in the business. Yeah, Russ is thrown for a little over 220 yards per game. But he's not turning the ball over. He's good in the red zone. He's still mobile at this stage in his career. Like, me personally, I don't have any concerns with Russell Wilson throwing the football this upcoming season. Like, I know it's not, 26-year-old Russ back in Seattle, but it's still, like I said from the beginning of the video, it's still an instant, immediate upgrade from whatever they had last year, whether it was Kenny Pickett,